Think we're live. Guys, welcome back to the Joyage Kingdom. I'm Cage, your guide. I'll be replacing the little voice inside your head for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thanks for listening or viewing on whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, smash the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. This podcast is brought to you guys by Web3 Gaming, crypto company looking to bring y'all some generational wealth, motherfucker. You know, we do a lot of things out here. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. I'm really excited. But just make sure you watch this on Twitch if you can, especially if you're watching on Twitch, because you can have opportunities to win cash prizes every 10 minutes you're watching. It's really, really cool. I'll be letting you guys know some of the more details as we keep going. It's really cool shit though. Guys, in today's episode, we have BRYCENT, the #1 Web3 fucking gamer. Can we get some fucking claps in here? Let's go.
Oh man,
it's not a claim, it's an actual fact.
You're already giving me way too much credit. I mean, I'll take it. Hold on, let me get the silverware out.
Let's get it. All right, this is gonna be cool. I haven't seen, or maybe I
like
seen.
I like to flex the trophy, man. Like, shout out to Web3 Gamer for the Gamers Choice Awards. Super fire. But yeah, we got a little silverware for our work. Now there are tons of, I would say, amazing content creators in Web3. I was blessed and fortunate to be one that was, recommended or nominated for this award. But ultimately, I think it's cool, man, to be a part of this space and building and helping create the future of what culture and Web3 gaming looks like. It's a fun challenge, and I'm sure we're going to dive into it a shit ton. I have a ton that I can share on the content side, and also, chat about your journey, meet, and also talk about how we even met. Like that's a.
Dude, I was about to. I said,
topic.
Dude, 100%. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, we met in a co-host, or sorry, not co-host, a casting audition, virtual casting audition for a New York show host position at a Web3 company. And we basically just stayed in touch ever since. But essentially, we just hopped in this room and we were just sitting there for hours and we just chatted. And then we kind of just stayed in touch ever since. And that's pretty much it, dude.
Yeah, it was a very interesting and weird experience. Like all of us we're all competing for this casting gig. I'm sure we can disclose it. So the show is called Pleaser DAO. The company's called Pleaser DAO. They're hosting this show called Pleaser House, and we're all like competing for like 2 or 3 spots. And we meet there. And eventually I get to go out to New York and I do like an in-person audition. They don't keep me after that. I think Allie might have been the only one they kept. But ultimately it was pretty sick. And like, you were dope. You were chatting about Web3. You were very knowledgeable about the space. You wanted to learn a bit more about gaming and dive deeper on it. So I was like, yeah, let's fucking keep in touch.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it was cool. It was some cool shit. I had never been part of that. I definitely had never been part of like a group like that. Like that was a fucking all-star lineup. I'm watching this Netflix show. It's like in the top 10. It's this Korean game show about like, it's called the Fiscal 100. And everyone in this group is like super fit. They're all super fit. And so it's like the top of the top. And I'm not saying I'm like top of the top or like, like I'm just saying like in a room full of other show hosts, I have never been in a situation like that. It was fucking awesome though. Like I connected with pretty much everyone in there. Everyone was really cool. Everyone was able to talk. Like that's not a very common place to find yourself, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It was probably a lot different than most casting auditions go, because I feel like that was my first one, but most of the time from what I've heard, people are like more abrasive in terms of they don't want to chat. So it was cool, man, that we were able to just connect like that. And then we were chatting off and on the DMs and Twitter. And then the opportunity came up to like come on the show and vibe out and talk to some people about gaming. And I'm always down for it. So it's like perfect. I would say the perfect storm.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, dude. And there's a bunch of things I want to talk about as far as the gaming stuff too. Like for me, and I think I told you this, like I'm not like inherently a gamer. I didn't grow up playing games. I wasn't very good at them growing up. And so especially not being popular, being short, and like all the things, basically none of them helped me when I was like a kid. I was like, I was a small kid growing up. So like it wasn't good. And so I never got into it. And honestly, this is a question I was going to save for later on, but like maybe we'll just bring it up now. Like in my bio, I have like Metaverse Gaming Maxi in there. And that's honestly just there so people can just kind of put me in a box. It'll be easier. But it's not exactly like what I mean. Like when I say that, like I'm more of like a Metaverse experience Maxi, which is kind of cringy when people hear that. But I'm just like, I've seen like the movies like Ready Player One. And for me, like, I just do think that that's a possibility. And I do think it's in our future, at least in my lifetime. I do think it's possible. And I'm a content creator at heart. Like, that's what I love to do. I know some people are gamers. Some people are show hosts, like Pio from the Nifty Show, a born and bred radio show host. That motherfucker gets it, dude. I like doing content. I like making like thought-provoking content. And I like conversation. I like streaming, but I don't know if I'm like a gamer. And like that was my question for you. Like, what is your advice for me, especially because I want to get into some of the gaming conversations, but yeah, just like what are your thoughts in there? And also, like, what do you think is missing from the genre of the gaming slash metaverse content out there?
Well, I feel like you don't have to be a gamer to make gaming content. Like, to be completely honest, I'm a huge gamer, but when I'm not playing, unless my friends are down to play something, when I'm not making like content, I'm probably not playing any video games just because my
Damn.
entire day exists around it. And
Right.
like, it's actually like counterproductive to my business if I'm playing video games off stream
Yeah.
and shit. So it's almost like if you do it too much, you get to the point where it's like gaming is gaming, but it still becomes like it's your livelihood. So you look at it a bit differently. It's like an actual job. I love it, but I also like kind of have a different sense of how I feel with it because it's not like, oh, you're just shooting the shit and gaming for 10 hours like you used to do
Right.
when you played CS:GO in college. So that's kind of changed. And then in terms of overall content, I think that there's just overall a lack of originality in the Web3 gaming space from a content perspective, from a growth perspective, and from a way to master audiences. And even myself, I remember going from the days of when I first started, I was very much I would say, play to earn maxi. Like you couldn't have told me anything wrong about play to earn in that entire world. Now I look back at that like almost 2 years ago and I'm like, damn, like we've come a long way. We started like, requiring
Yeah.
more from these games. And I think the same rule applies to creators. If I still see creators that'll make 100 at this token's going to 100x YouTube videos. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but like your own credibility is being hit. So it's like at the end of the day, I've come to the conclusion that you have to keep innovating and keep growing and evolutionizing your own content. Like when I first started, I was heavily a YouTube and Twitch maxi. Now, after being in this space a couple of years, I realized like you need TikTok. TikTok is how people find you and bring you and take you from TikTok to other platforms. So the way I've looked at content and growth, I would say has definitely changed. But just the overall lack of originality and being able to grab people's attention in a way that isn't predicated on tokens has probably been the biggest reason why content creation in Web3 gaming has like failed to take off. And of course, you need great games as well, but you need great content creators. And a lot of the times, if you're a really solid creator, you can make a game a lot more fun than what it is. I mean, no one plays Fall Guys right now. Like Fall Guys
Mm.
fell off a cliff, but 3-4 months ago in October of 2022, Fall Guys was one of the most played games in the world. And a lot of it was due to content creators like Courage and Valkyrie and all those amazing people that were like playing the game and creating those very cool and cultural moments. So I think that's like really important and it's huge.
Yeah, dude. So that's a great thing because I saw a comment like yesterday when I made the tweet about what's going on, and it was someone who's like someone had said they would bring up the play to earn topic, right? And that was it's hard in the NFT space because it's funny what people do latch onto and then don't latch onto. Like people will forgive certain
Yeah.
people for certain huge fuck ups, but then we'll just like remember something from like 2 decades ago that they did. And with the play to earn thing and like the Axie Infinity days and Luvium days, that was an entirely different market, an entirely different set of things that we cared about. Like projects like in like the OG days, 2021, like PFP
Yeah.
projects like Doge Pound, Subducks. All we gave a shit about was being in there, and that was pretty much just it, just the
Yeah.
flex. And over time, you're right, it started to change. People wanted different stuff. Companies started coming in. I see you. You about to say something?
No, I mean, I
Oh,
can wait until I can wait
no,
until you
no, just
finish.
jump in.
I
I
like
was
the
just kind of
monologue.
going.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I know like there's a ton of people that look at the play to earn days and they're like, oh shit, this, that, and the third. I'm like, dude, trust me. I turned down millions of dollars in deals because I didn't want my brand to be associated with a token go up, token go down. And if it goes down, I'm the one pumping 100x tokens. I played Axie because I actually really fucking liked the game. When I found it, it was because someone was talking about Pokemon on the blockchain. And as a kid, I mean, I had Pokemon Yellow on the game, like my fucking
Yeah,
Game Boy Color,
me
and I
too.
played Pokemon and I loved it. So it culturally made sense in my brain, even though the characters were kind of blobby and weird. It made sense, like this whole gotta catch them all concept. Like
Yeah,
I didn't even know what the whole play to earn scholarship world was. I was just playing the game because I like Pokemon and it was on the blockchain and I could sell them. So from my perspective, it's like I get that people have a lot of narratives that they take from the play to earn days, but I laugh at a lot of them because I'm like, anytime I've done a brand deal or made any money, I've been very open in disclosing that I've made money or I did a brand deal, and I have no problem announcing it. If fucking Yuga Labs or So Rare or another company wants to work with me, my ass will be the first one stamping So Rare partner directly on that tweet because guess what? I built in this space for multiple years and it feels good to finally make a little bit of money
yeah,
knowing that I turned down bags. I mean, dude, some companies would reach out to me and be like, oh shit, like, you're streaming today, mention our NFT project on your stream for 30 seconds and we'll pay you 15 racks.
Dude,
15 racks. I had money. One time, I was only one moment where I was like, damn, maybe I'll accept this deal. The guy sent me money. He sent me 15 bands to talk about this like ape project. I sent him the money back before the stream because I was like, I can in good confidence do this shit. You can even check my wallet if you want to go back that far and like find it. But it was like, dude, I saw so much fast money that I
yeah,
could have potentially had, and I would turn it down because I'm like, this isn't who I want to be. And it's the reason why I was able to like do the shit I'm doing now. Like I'm signed to Vayner Sports, which is Gary V's sports management firm. I'm one of
okay,
only two gamers signed to Vayner Sports. The other one is Booga, who is the Fortnite world champ. He's made over $3 million playing Fortnite. Other than that, the entire roster of people is NBA, NFL stars, and baseball players. And then you have two puny gamers that are signed. I signed to a gaming organization that's going to be now announced in a couple weeks, a traditional gaming organization that's huge in Web 2. That can't happen if I'm out here shilling tokens or doing things that would compromise my brand. Got to
yeah,
partner with So Rare at NBA for All-Star. So it's like I get people having the narrative around play to earn. And I mean, I do think people are a lot more abrasive in terms of being willing to be harsh on some and not harsh on others. I didn't sell anything. I didn't shill anything. Versus, for example, I mean, I think Azuki is a great collection, but I mean, their founder blatantly rugged multiple projects. I don't hear shit about that.
it's true.
And people kind of just moved past it and said, this is what it is. So from my perspective, it's like I'm a gamer at heart. Even if I wasn't making a little bit of money playing video games, I would still be a gamer. And I definitely turned down more opportunities that would have been malicious to my brand than what I've actually accepted over the last 12 months. And to be honest, dude, I'm thankful for the journey that I've had. If it wasn't for Axie, I wouldn't be here today. If it wasn't for me leaving Axie, my brand wouldn't be this relevant today because it took me leaving Axie and moving in a way that was understanding that you have to change and shift based on what you are seeing in the moment. I think a
Mhm.
lot of the times, and I had bags in Axie, but a lot of the times people get so caught up in this whole I have money here and I like you're willing to compromise your moral values just because you had money in this thing or you believed in this person instead of understanding that over time people change and you have to shift your belief to what you believe is right in that moment and grow. Everybody has the opportunity to grow. So from my perspective, I think play to earn was a time in crypto where things were easy. No
Mhm.
one expected it to be what it was. It blew up and then it blew up again. Like it blew up in a great way and then blew up in a bad way. So ultimately, it was a learning experience for everybody, but it's very blatantly obvious the creators that are looking to build the space positively versus those that are in it for a quick cash grab in terms of Web3 gaming. Like I don't like I you can go on YouTube and just search gaming token 100x and you can see a difference in the amount the creators that are making that content and my content. And of course, like viewership for the longest time, dude, that's been 12 months trying to figure out how do
Yeah,
I bring my viewership back to a point where it makes sense. And it was like, how do you find narratives and like you know how it is, you got to experiment. And then this month, I mean, I had one of my best content months ever.
fucking
This
go.
month alone on TikTok, I mean, 1 million on TikTok. Last 3 months alone on Twitter, I've done over almost 20 million impressions every single month for the last 3 months in a bear. So it's
That's
like opportunities exist. You have to decide how you want your brand to operate in the space and then put yourself in positions where you can be successful based on the narratives and the moments that are happening in Web3 because there are tons of them. And that's what excites me every
Motherfuckers, can we get a fucking
day.
retweet, a like, a subscribe, and everything to Bryson's channel for that? That was a mic drop and a half right there. And you're right. Right. Let me a few things there. It is blatantly, it's painfully blatantly obvious for the content creators and the influencer people who are in it for the bag. It's very obvious when you look at the content, look at their timeline, look at who they're following, the stuff they're putting out. It's very obvious kind of who's playing which game here. And dude, there are narratives that change a lot, and a lot of things we thought were going to be the thing that were going to take us to the moon 2 years ago are very different, and it is a completely different realm they're operating in 2020
Yeah.
in 2023 now. And dude, shout out to you for getting all those impressions the past couple of months. That's been nuts.
I
The
mean,
Dookie Dash, I'm sure, right for
the
TikTok, right?
threads. Yeah, TikTok has definitely been Dookie Dash, and I've been playing some Harry Potter. And you know what's crazy? A lot of people haven't even realized it because I was gonna just experiment to see how long it would take me to get to 100K on TikTok before making a wider thread on this. If you really want to like take over a space, especially like Web3 gaming, where it's like so like nuanced and niche, you have to realize two things. One, you're in a big ass circle jerk. We're all in a circle jerk. I like, to be honest, Kate, I could go right now and tweet Web3 gaming is the future. And by tomorrow, it's going to have 300 likes, 400 likes, whatever the case may be. It's going to have a ton of people who like, oh, like, we all believe the same thing. But if you really want to grow and be able to be an amazing content creator, you have to find a way to integrate your content with the audience that isn't looking to see your content. For example, the reason why my Dookie Dash stuff did so well isn't because I just decided to talk about this NFT worth 1.6 mil. I didn't, if you look at all three of my Dookie Dash videos on TikTok, I didn't say it once. But what I did say was a Fortnite creator, Fortnite pro, played a video game called Dookie Dash. So I'm connecting this guy with a game outside of his niche. TikTok likes Fortnite. So it's going to bring in that Fortnite audience, one. Going to bring in the Web2 audience, two, from Dookie Dash. Three, you talk about making $1.6 million in 2 weeks. You're going to bring in finance bros now because they're like, what the fuck just happened? TikTok's going to look at that and say, wow, this is the narrative and the concoction for a viral video of some sort. Now you take those three things, you double down on that concept. But the idea isn't just making content and narratives around Web3 gaming. What I'm realizing more so now than anything, I need to be the guy. I'm already the guy for Web3 gaming, and that's not even being cocky. But what you have to be is the guy who can talk about Web2 and Web3 gaming. Because if I make a video on Kai Cenat hitting 280,000 subs and breaking the record, and that goes off, and then I make a video on the Twitch and Kick saga, and then I make a video on this Web3 game called Wildcard is the biggest League of Legends competitor. TikTok's gonna stop seeing this Web3 gaming content as separate content from the overall holistic approach of me being the guy to go to for all things gaming. And they're going to say, we're going to push this content too, because this audience likes his content and his content is on a wide ranging thing of gaming pop culture. And now we're implementing and integrating Web3 content in the Web2 fulcrum without it being cringe, unnecessary, or feeling like it has to be something that is like overzealous towards pushing the NFT narrative on people. I'm not pushing the NFT narrative. I think NFTs and Web3 are the technology, and I know how to leverage content in a way that culturally is relevant to gamers outside of my niche in Web3. Because, dude, why the fuck would a game want to partner with me and make any content if the only thing that their content is going to reach is the people that already exist in Web3?
Right.
No one needs more Web3 participants yet. We need more exposure in places where we don't currently belong. It's no different than like if you were entering, like, for example, your segment, if I was you and you're like, okay, I'm going to talk about all things Web3 and pop culture, what I would do, I would experiment with how can I talk about everything in pop culture? For example, you talk about the Sam Bankman-Fried collapse and FTX, right? Okay, that's great. Now, why not talk about a traditional news story collapse or connect Sam Bankman-Fried's collapse to the 2009 housing market collapse and connect that to how Madoff destroyed and ran through billions of dollars the same way Sam Bankman-Fried. Now you've connected old finance bros to new finance bros. You've connected traditional finance and stocks to Web3 and crypto. And you have that interconnectivity, and people are going to look at you and be like, wait, this guy gets it. He knows a little something about this industry, and he knows a little something about the holistic sense of finance. And that's if you're attacking a finance market. But you could do this with like pretty much any market. A lot of great content is being able to make enough connectivity for people to relevantly think that you like, relevantly give a fuck about your takes. Because at the end of the day, I'm not Ludwig. I'm not Nick Merckx. I'm not Kai Cenat. What good does it do for me to post a Twitch, like to post a clip of my Twitch stream with no context of me just playing a game and saying, oh shit, yeah, I'm here like this. No one knows me or gives a fuck about me, okay? So if they don't give a fuck about me, I got to give them a reason to. So my ultimate plan is I build my TikTok up in my short form platforms. And if you go to my short form platforms, it all leads and funnels back to Twitch. So I'll go ahead and say, all right, you're following my content, you're following my content on TikTok. You're getting all this insight and information from me about all things gaming. That's a combination of Web2 and Web3, and I'm not throwing the word NFT in your face. Now, guess what? Somebody out of that 100,000 followers on TikTok is going to wake up and say, oh shit, the homie BRYCENT is live on Twitch. I want to watch him on Twitch now because I like his TikToks. I like his takes. and he's actually kind of funny. Now you start building around this aspect of you being an entertainer, but you can't be an entertainer in a space that no one is searching for, because it's not like Fortnite. You can't just go in Fortnite. I could go and like, I could simply like, you know what I'm saying, add like a simple like sound thing. Like, let me see if I can, I don't know if this will even fucking work. I could like simply like go like this and change my voice and like make it sound like, I can make it sound like a robot and say, oh my God, I was playing like a robot with a 13-year-old and he raged. And guess what? People are going to be like, wow, oh my God, this is Fortnite. So there's already an endemic brand here with millions and millions of followers that are looking for this type of content, versus Bryson is sitting here playing Illuvium or Parallel or some other game where there's 100 people in the entire category that give a fuck about it. Most of them are speculators. Nothing wrong. Shout out to the speculators. You guys literally saved the fucking market in the last 3 to 5 months. But most of you are speculators. Beyond that, maybe 2 to 3% of you are going to watch my Twitch stream, right? So that means I only, my total addressable market for viewers or my content is probably like 3 people.
Yeah.
You can't build with that. So when people tell you, oh, well, you could just be this Web3 guy. No. I got lucky when I did what I did, and I was entertaining and Axie had this boom, and I was able to build an audience. But if you really want to be able to build in a bear market, you have to be the person that brings cultural interconnectivity between your world and what you truly have a passion with in the traditional world of what that thing is. If you're in fucking, you want to get into Web3 fitness and like start your own Web3 fitness like subscription model around NFTs, you should be making fitness content every day and reacting to fitness content and doing things that make people connected to you and believe that and make them think that you are somebody of value. You can't just wake up and say, hey guys, I'm launching a Web3 fitness model. Who the fuck's gonna know what that is? Why would I care? I'm like, dude, I can go online and get Chris Harria's calisthenic workouts for free. Hell, I might be able to find him in Miami if I walk around South Beach enough. But if you go and be like, all right, this is the audience I want to attack. There's 50 million influencers in this category. I need to make this type of content to build my audience up so people give a fuck about me. Then once they give a fuck about me, I can go out, I can sell to brands. I can go out and take that and take those sales and dump it back into my audience. Because that's what I do. Dude, when I do brand deals, you're going to pay 30% taxes on brand deals anyway, right?
Yeah.
Instead of giving that to the government, when I do a brand deal, I take that 30%, I put it aside into a separate fund when I get paid. And then I take that and I do giveaways on my stream. The last 4 months, I think we gave away over $8,000 in crypto and NFTs to people watching my stream. You actually make more money watching my stream than you would have in play to earn right now in the bear market, which is hilarious. But a lot of people don't realize you need to, one, value your audience's attention. And a lot of what Web3 is going to be for people is showing them you value their attention and giving them ways and opportunities to earn creatively within your ecosystem, because that's what holistic transparency, ownership, and collaboration looks like. And I'm sorry, because that was a long spiel and I need to sip some fucking water. I got an adult sippy cup. They call these things like gallon jugs for like working out. It's literally just an adult
have the
sippy
same
cup.
thing. But look at this.
Oh, that's fucking lit.
We literally have the same exact thing. That's fucking hilarious. Holy smokes. Did anyone take notes for me? Because I was not able to take notes. I was completely mesmerized by all that. That was some serious fucking content and branding alpha right there. And I was taking a lot of mental notes. That was a ton of fucking alpha right there. First off, especially because it's one of the last things you just said about, literally making money while watching your streams. Guys, y'all need to be watching Bryson's streams. If anything, you're going to be entertained, but you can literally win money and NFTs and crypto. That is nuts, dude. That is nuts.
So this is how we do it. So every week I drop a POAP on my stream, right? There's a interconnect, like an interconnectivity thing where you can connect your Twitch to this website called RevGG, and I launch a POAP once a week on every stream. And for that week, if you own that POAP is your raffle ticket to get into anything I do that week. So one week we had Illuvium on and they wanted to give away land plots. And the land plots overall value amounted to over like $8,000. I've done brand deals where like I just take a portion of it and for an entire week, we give away $100 a stream until we like expend all of the money from the deal. I've given away so rare cards. There's so many ways. You made $1,000 now? Jesus Christ. I didn't realize you made that much. I'm gonna start scaling it back. You're fucking cashing. But no, I'm just saying, like, there's ways to like reward your audience. It shouldn't just always be a, oh, you get into my Twitch stream or my Twitter Spaces, or you watch my YouTube video and you drop a like and I'm the only one that benefits. It's like, dude, that's so like 10 years ago. Like, fuck that. Like, how do I grow with you and get to a point where it's like you feel empowered to help me build something? I had one of my Twitch viewers, he's like a really good friend. I use him as a dev. Because he fucked with me so heavy and because of like the system we built, I got back from a trip. This dude coded an entire application that allowed me to like read off every one of Elon Musk's tweets for like a challenge. Then I spent like 8 hours on stream, like reading off all of his tweets. It was fucking amazing.
Wait, I think I saw a post about this.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. Like we do like some hilarious shit, but it's just like my whole thought process is how do I find a way to get back to my community in a way that makes like complete sense.
Damn, dude. Wow. That was fucking awesome. And speaking of making money, guys, if you're watching this on Twitch, make sure you type in that exclamation mark or I think it's exclamation mark earn. And then also Beth Fury has an activation going on right now where you can win $1,000. Just go onto their Twitter right now. It ends today, I believe, or maybe tomorrow. You just have to pass a crypto quiz and then register with them. But dude, that's fucking cool that you're doing that. And the POAPs is cool for me because that's something that I look into the future. Like I feel like a lot of the things you're doing, you're a lot bit ahead of me. So I'm taking notes in the sense that I'm like, okay, what's he actually doing, and what is he doing in real time that's actually working? Because I'm literally watching you guys. Like I'm watching you. I'm watching the Nifty show. I'm watching people who are doing it right, who crushed it in the bull market and the bear market, and who haven't left, dude. I don't know about you, but most of my friends are gone. Like most of them disappeared. I made a ton of friends. I made a ton of friends in the last like 6 to 8 months. But a lot of people that I was friends with in the bull market they're not here anymore. Any of those guys, any of the streamers that I used to connect with in the bull market, are they still here?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are here. There are some that like they died off of after Axie once they realized they actually had to make content, which I kind of expected because it's so easy to, if you're not like built for it, it's so easy to like chase clout in the moment versus being able to stream and do shit. Like a lot of people, if you weren't following me during the play to earn days, dude, I used to average like my average on streams was 3,000 to 4,000 people on Twitch. I was one of the top 100 concurrent average viewers during the play to earn cycle on Twitch. And my max viewership ever was like over 5,000. I was one of the biggest in the space. And when play to earn died, that viewership where everyone was just there, you know, predicated on the idea of like, you know, making a quick dollar and like, you know, they weren't there for, you know, being an actual fan of my content. It dropped all the way down. I went from streaming to 3,000 people concurrent all the way down to like 3 people.
Whoa.
One of those people's in this stream right now. And for a year, almost a year, an entire year, I streamed from anywhere between 3 and 22 people. Now I stream to like around 35, 40, and I'm building it back up. Yeah. But if you're somebody who's not cut out for this life, when that drop happens, you're going to be the first one to be like, oh shit, I'm done. Like, I can't do this. I'm gonna go back to my regular job. I still streamed every day that I could and kept going and kept being so consistent. I went from Twitch was one of my main sources of revenue. I was making like $4,000 a month on Twitch. One of my months I made like 10 grand. I went from doing that. I make $100 a month on Twitch and I still stream there 4 hours a day, every day. And it isn't my main source of revenue. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you really believe in something, you believe in the future of it, you stick with it. You want to know like the moments that really make me happy? It's when somebody like Cypher PK chats with me and connects with me on gaming and I got to play in his event. Nick Merckx, when Nick Merckx sees me, Nick Merckx averages 20,000 concurrent viewers. Every time he sees me, he's like, oh, that's Brycen. That's the NFT gaming guy. He knows me as the NFT gaming guy. He said it on his streams. He's not abrasive as abrasive as you might think the NFTs. Clicks, another big streamer. All these people understand that I'm helping create a space where this is safe, this world of Web3 and NFTs. And like, that's huge. The head of creator partnerships at Fortnite, me and him have almost regular conversations about Web3 and the metaverse. That's the guy who runs creator partnerships for Epic Games, billion-dollar company. You wouldn't even know this, but it's like sometimes your impact, and you got to understand that your impact is like more important than just simply focusing on like the now and when. My vision goes well beyond like the people who are like the people that are watching me on stream. And I love my current viewership, but I think I'm going to get back and be one of the biggest fucking streamers in the world. I think I'm going to be the person that brings in that Web3 adoption, the person that people think of as that interconnectivity and that glue. And it's because you got to see the vision And you got to believe in the vision before you see the process, or the process by which I'm a spiritual guy, the process by which God takes you through things to get to that point. But as long as you know where you want to go, and that's like your main focus,
Yeah.
you're going to get there. And even if you don't get there, you might stumble and fall somewhere that's slightly below that, which still could be ultra successful. I
Yeah.
mean, to be completely honest with you, like fully transparent, we're in February. I got over $300,000 in brand deals that we have like on the docket right now, confirmed for this year, averaging 25 to 35 viewers on Twitch.
That is
That's
nuts.
that's more than 99% of the Web2 content creators that have larger platforms and larger viewership than me. And that's because I stick with my Web3 vision and I believe in it. And because of that, I'm going to be able to give back so much money and opportunities to people in my community and grow. I'm launching my own free mint NFT collection later on this year. Like there's so many things I want to do, but it's like you got to understand that it just takes time. You
Takes
can't
time.
just do it, and you can't do it in a day, a moment, a year. But it's like this is good money now because it's organic money. It's not fast money. It's not me having to shill somebody an NFT project and then dumping on their head to get it money. It's that slow money. It's that consistent money. It's that I'm gonna be around a long time money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my mind
Hey,
goes.
I
That's what
love
I've
that shit.
always thought of. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be here a long time type of money. Oh my
Yeah,
fucking okay, yeah. So that's great. Because I've had people also tell me they're like, "Why are you bothering to make Web3 content?" And I'm like, "Well, the opportunity here as a content creator is much, much, much bigger because we're in a smaller pool, and the
for
people who
sure.
are giving us the money are understanding of that, and they're aware that there's a smaller pool of people that they're marketing to. So there is better opportunity for money. Obviously, much smaller scale than you are. You're a bit further along than me, so that's cool to hear. And it's honestly like I feel like Ash is in here with me, a fellow YouTuber, and also Luke. I see
Shout out Ash.
other content creators in here are probably getting fucking like their hair's like sticking up, going, "Oh shit!" Like getting all pumped up again. But you're right, dude. Especially about the idea of streaming to 3 people. I also remember that because during the bull run, I would do live streams every single day, basically covering
Yeah,
whatever was going on, whatever needed to happen, and I was flying through it. And like every stream got like I don't know 20 to 100 people sometimes at a time, which was crazy for me. Like I had never experienced that
yeah,
before. And then it obviously dropped all the way fucking down. And you kind of figure out what you actually are here for, what you really like. I obviously had never been through such a crash like that. I didn't really expect or even fathom the idea or even consider the idea that everyone would just disappear. Like I was just like, there's no
yeah.
chance. Like, yeah, we're gonna drop down, but like it's gonna be fine. I never thought we would see this level of just disappearance. But you do find what you really like. I found that I really do like making video content. Otherwise, I would have stopped a million years ago. Like I'm still putting
Facts.
out 3 to 12 TikToks a fucking day. Like I just don't have time. I can't not post them. Like I just like
Yeah,
doing that shit. And I like doing the podcast. The podcast never stopped. The YouTube videos never stopped. And that's just where it goes. Luke says 38 subscribers on YouTube. Let's fucking go. Let's
yeah.
get him
That's
to
fucking
40 though.
huge.
Let's go.
Damn right. Like
Any-
drop a follow. Make sure you guys check out Ferg's YouTube channel because it's like
there you
that's how
go.
you grow. It's that first wave. Then you have compounding interest from other people interested in that category. But I mean, to that point, it's like you have to stay consistent and look at it from the passion perspective of why you like doing this. Some days I wake up and I'm like, damn, I don't really want to make a video, but I got a system by which I make content. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I have 3 video editors and a graphic artist. So it's like at a moment's notice, I can make content. And I'm thankful that I have that. But it's like a lot of people they overpay for things. You know what I'm saying? Like stop overpaying or stop doing content yourself. And like one, you like it takes too much of your time. You got to focus on creating the content. I employ all my editors out of the Philippines. I don't have to pay $1,000 a video, $500 a video. I pay them a very good wage. I don't even have them working every day. Dude, my YouTube editor, he hasn't, I pay him $500 a month. He hasn't made a video all month because I haven't been inspired to make content. I'm still gonna pay him $500 this month because I fuck with him and he's been with me for a year, 2 years, whatever the case may be. But it's like you can get work done I mean, over the course of a month, I probably release over 100 pieces of content, and I'm not paying like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do so. So it's like also being smart with your time and understanding that if you want to make better content, you got to leave the editing to somebody else because you can't make great content. And this is like once you reach a certain point, but you can't make great content, negotiate your own brand deals, and be the person editing and be the person running every platform. Like it's just so many things. So as you scale up your business and find a way to do so, you have to work to create avenues to be successful. That way your time is being spent on the best things possible.
Damn. Because we have a lot of content creators in here, I want to take this opportunity to take advantage of that because I'm in a cool position here to be talking to you, to tell the other content creators in here to hit up other people who are a few steps ahead of you, to just tell, like, you don't need them to like drop advice really, but like to just tell you what they're up to and like what they've been doing, what kind of
Facts.
happened when they got through certain barriers. Like for me, I'm close to that point basically, kind of where you're talking about, where I'm going to start thinking about doing some of those things. And I'm like, okay, like how does that work? And so hearing you come and talk about it, I've heard other content creators talk about that transition when they've gone from like a 1 person team to a 2, 3, 4 person team. They go, okay, now I can do this. I can change this up. I can stop
Facts.
focusing, 3 hours a day on this, which frees up basically 9 hours of like creative energy because I was taking up so much of a mental block on me. And that's fucking awesome to hear. What do you think is going to be, because this is interesting to me, what do you think is going to be the biggest difference between the next bull run or the next cycle of frenzy of attention, thousands of people in the stream versus last time? What's going to change
I
for
think
you?
what's gonna like, for me, the biggest thing that's gonna change is it's going to be an audience that is 100% understandable on the mission of we're working together to achieve greater goals and reach new heights across all of gaming and Web3. And also, we're going to be bringing in people who don't currently exist in Web3. My mind immediately goes there. So it's going to be an audience that is more connected to my brand immediately. And I think that's what's going to make it way stickier because I'm not looking to just add value in Web3 to reach new people. I'm actively looking to add value in the Web2 gaming space to be able to insert my Web3 content in a more relevant fashion. So it's like almost like a reverse Trojan horse or whatever.
Yeah.
You work where you need to work to get to the outcome that you're looking to get to, but you have to have that set of steps to get there. I think before it was like, to be honest, it was easy. Like, dude, I was only in a month of streaming, I was already at 100 concurrent. By month 2, I was at 700 concurrent. By month 3, I was at like over 1,000. Month 4, I was 3,500. So it's like that was unsustainable in its own right. It's like when a token goes straight up and then goes back down. It goes down, but if you're building if you're building a company, if you're building a project, if you have a vision and you are someone who's building in a forward-facing way, after it goes back down, you start to see a steady, slow and steady increase. If you look at like Apple stock or any of the big, Fortune 500 companies, it like they normally have that pump and then it's like they have that steady growth and those breakthroughs help it a little bit, but you have steady overtime growth. You're getting 10 to 15% year over year. And that's kind of where my mind goes now. How do I consistently cultivate an audience of people that fuck with me and build in a way that makes a ton of sense? And also just putting myself in a position where I can empower other creators to do the same thing. I'm not trying to hold out on no game. You can ask me my strategy about anything, and I'll tell people straight up, look, this is what I'm looking to do. This is the format in which I'm willing to do it. And this is how I think it's going to add value. And more people can do it too. I don't think it needs to be a one size fits all thing, but it's like knowledge sharing is how we find a way to infiltrate and create more influencers like our own self. And I hate the influencer word, but I'll use it because every brand uses it. But create more people who are like-minded and want to build content in a forward-facing way. Knowledge sharing is how if there's only just one of us that are doing it, you don't grow. If there's 50 people that are all competing and making each other better because of the content and working in the same space, viewers are going to get better content. We're all going to get a better chance to grow because it's going to cultivate algos higher. All of our content is going to perform a bit better. And that's kind of where my mind is always going. I mean, look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is amazing, but there are 50 other creators that are making Mr. Beast style content that, although they're not getting hundreds of millions of views, they're still making millions of dollars a year, getting a couple million a video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got the phase rugs and like it's crazy. Like it's cool, but it's like that's how I think the space grows.
Are you a YouTube kid? I was a YouTube kid, but I wasn't following
Yeah.
like the vloggers and stuff, but I was on YouTube, like watching videos versus like watching TV shows and movies.
Oh, for sure. Like there was multiple times where I was like, damn, I want to really blow up on YouTube. I used to watch like gaming voiceover commentaries. I was like back during the Niga Higa days and the Fred
Same.
days and all those guys. Like,
Oh,
yeah, like way back when, like watching early YouTube. And I never really tried it, but dude, it was fucking amazing. And I think that like now we're seeing the second coming of YouTube. I'm seeing a ton of creators that are only YouTube Shorts creators that are like blowing the fuck up. And I love it. And I think it's going to happen more and more often.
yeah, dude, they are killing it. Janix, man, listen, you didn't have to call me out like that, fam. You did not have to call me out like that, but you're 100% right. Many sound bites are probably going to come from this, and 99% of them are going to come from BRYCENT because he's been dropping a fuck ton of alpha. So again, make sure you guys are following him. This is awesome because honestly, it's one of the first conversations I've had in depth about Web3 gaming as a topic of conversation in general, which is kind of the
Yeah.
stuff I love doing. Which is funny that we open up the conversation talking about how I'm more of like a content creator who likes to. I'm a dreamer. I like talking about concepts. Like I just made a video about the whole thing with. Did you see the SEC, or I think it was SEC or some random governor is basically telling people to really, really watch which emojis you use. If you use the rocket emoji or the chart emoji,
Oh,
because
I saw that.
and I was
That was
like, damn,
hilarious.
that's crazy because that's like Black Mirror. And I went into this whole spiel about how this is like blah, blah, and I was just like, this shit is so entertaining and like so interesting to me. And that's why like the Web3 gaming world, the metaverse stuff, Ready Player One, concepts like that, dude. Like what's it called? Cyberpunk vibes, like those kind of things get me so like my blood gets going. I get the hairs on on my arms stand up. I get so excited for that. Can you give me not, you don't have to give me a prediction, but like or do you think that's even a
Yeah.
thing in our lifetime? Do you think I'm crazy? Or and then like what role would you be playing in that kind of world, in a metaverse world, if that comes to fruition?
To be honest, so every time I thought of metaverse originally, it was the thought process around like virtual reality. And then I like put a virtual reality headset on for 10 minutes to play Beat Saber, and I almost threw up because like the motion, like it just doesn't do well with my head. So
Mm,
I'm not a big VR guy, but I'm very big on augmented reality, like merging the digital in the physical, like in a very kind of you look at like for example I think I saw some Apple glasses that are like retailing like at a crazy amount of money. I'd love to put those on where they're like sunglasses and shit and be like fucking Cookie from Ned's
yeah.
Declassified School Survival Guide. Like let me go in and change like test scores and shit. I know that's like ridiculous, but the whole idea
Really?
that imagine you have those glasses on right now and you're able to walk into a place where it's a monument of statues and like there's an indicator as soon as you like look at it, or you can click something and it like plays music or it plays a sound or it gives you insights or different things on the context of that picture or statue. Like I think there's a world where augmented reality lives almost like how ghosts live in the fucking, I would say, like
Mm,
spiritual world. You don't see ghosts
yeah.
unless you, I guess, if you like, I mean, if you're lucky or something. I mean, I haven't seen any ghosts, but like you see them, they move like they move around. I believe in ghosts, so they probably just move around and hover and do shit. But like in terms of augmented reality, who's to say we all don't have like we don't get to a point where we all have glasses or contact lenses in, and throughout our entire day while we're walking around we see the physical element. Like if you're walking on a street in New York, who's to say instead of just seeing the people walking like how you normally see, you also see things hovering in the air that are augmented reality doing different things and tasks and bots and workers, like things that are happening behind the scenes that have value and offer you ways to like interact with it. Like for example, the other day I saw like an Amazon robot like walking down the street to deliver something. Like who's
You
to
saw
say
it?
this world where like yeah, I literally saw it like driving, like it was like walk like doing it like not an actual big robot, but it was like this little like
I've
feeder
seen
thing
videos of
that
it.
had
I've
wheels on
never
it.
seen it in real life though.
Yeah, I saw one in real life just like drive down the street to deliver something. It's like that thing was like doing its own chore or task in a closed off ecosystem, minding its own business. When do we reach a point where like the world is operating like that in the physical, but also in the digital? Like for example, right now we don't see bots moving around, but most of the internet traffic on the like in the web is mostly bots. We
Yeah.
don't see it, but like that's like probably 90% of traffic. So it's interesting to think about what the future looks like from a complexity standpoint of merging, I would say, digital interactions with how our daily life moves as a way, as a byproduct of augmented reality, and how much more can it teach us, especially in a world where AI is becoming so prevalent. Even though I think the AI we're seeing right now is very basic in
Right.
terms, and I don't think it's even close to the AI tech that's behind the scenes, to be completely honest.
Sure. And also it's like to people who are saying, well, that's not going to happen, or we wouldn't want this, or this is terrible. It's like, fam, have
Yeah.
you seen what's happened in the past 5 years? Why do you keep thinking that it's not going to happen and these things aren't going to, like for like something that I always talk about, which is so crazy to me, is watching the content creation game change over the past few years, watching TikTok, YouTube, Twitch literally battle it out for not even consumers, but also the creators being like, we want to do this. And then YouTube says, well, we're going to do it. And then TikTok says, well, shit, we got to incentivize people to come to us because they're just going to move over. And then seeing
Yeah.
how this all happens, seeing how the opportunity to take advantage has been decentralized, and like the movement of culture and society starts to move in that direction. There are people right now, there's multiple people on TikTok right now, they're not in Web3 that I follow, they're normal people, they go on live every day for like 4 hours, they put a green screen up and it says something absurd like prove to me God exists. And it's just like 3,000 people in there, and there's one person at a time comes up, tries to debunk it, and then they just debate for like 3 hours. He gets like
Yeah,
hundreds of dollars a stream from just people donating because they fuck with it. And I'm like,
that's so
this
sick.
is crazy. Tell me 5 years ago that you and like when TikTok was a dancing app, and everyone was like, I'm not gonna get on TikTok. Tell me now how that happens, and then tell me that this is not gonna
Right.
happen. And like that is a crazy concept to me, and that's kind of why I'm a metaverse maxi, because so many people hate it. It's probably a little bit of me saying, all right, let's see how far we can push this envelope.
I mean, that's sick though. I like your concept of looking at it from the perspective of it's going to change how conversations and interactions happen. I think mine is a bit extreme right now, and I think it'll still take a long time, but we are seeing the metaverse. And who's to say the metaverse has to happen in Web3? I think that just in any app that allows us to connect in digital ways that we didn't have prior could be a symbolism of the metaverse. I think Twitter is like the metaverse newsstand of the entire world.
Same.
But I think that ultimately Web3 has gotten to the point to where it's either it's decentralized or not. And if you don't think, and if something's not decentralized, people automatically think like it doesn't have merit as a metaverse. Like I can promise you that decentralization is going to be prevalent and it's not going to change anything. But the lack of decentralization isn't a bad thing. You can't decentralize, like you can't truly decentralize running a video game on a server.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how do you decentralize source code to the point to where the game runs autonomously? It's not something that makes sense. But I've seen people use that as an argument that say that Web3 gaming isn't really Web3 gaming because the code doesn't live on the blockchain and doesn't like it doesn't move on the blockchain. I've heard people talk about AI and like having AI decentralized. I'm like, dude, AI requires speed and high intensity throughput. There's literally no fucking way with these slow ass blockchains that you could do enough and grab enough data to decentralize AI onto a blockchain. But a lot of people don't understand like a lot of the behind the scenes tech concepts. I was an engineer before I was
Oh shit.
a video gamer. Yeah. So like I was a full stack software engineer. Worked at College Board, like creating SAT software. Prior to that, was like doing a ton of different shit. So it's like I have like a higher holistic understanding of the tech aspect for a lot of these things. So when I see like people say certain like really outrageous things, I'm just like, I think it sounds good on paper until you realize like some shit just can't work.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, dude, it's like it doesn't even matter like, sometimes if you're right or wrong. It's just like who can drum up the most noise on Twitter, which is a little bit of a problem. But since you brought that up about your developing and engineering background, what do you think? Because I saw you put out a post about Polygon Studios moving to Polygon Gaming. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like their entire fucking brand. I had completely missed that.
Well, they didn't say anything, and I saw it, and I was like, excuse my French, them niggas wasn't Polygon Gaming. This was Polygon Studios. So I was like, the fuck is going on here? Did they just try to not really pull the wool, but they just like do an entire brand, like rebrand, like over the course of like a week, and no one even thought to like say anything. I was like, all right, let me at least make a tweet on it so people understand that Polygon is going in incredibly deep and focused on gaming. And it makes complete and utter sense. If you think about where the world is in Web3 and the complexities around building products. And I'll say this from the high level standpoint of what we saw in early Web3, like 2021 and a lot of 2022, was a lot of these companies were raising insane amounts of money to build solutions for problems that didn't exist. They were like, all right, well, we're just going to create a way to, we're going to create a way for you to get mortgages on the blockchain. It's like, what problem is that solving for most people who don't want mortgages on the blockchain? Startup, and that's the thing. And I'm not talking about like small businesses, startups. When you're thinking of startup, you're thinking about no one's investing in a startup unless it's $1 billion idea. And the idea that like you need an audience and you need to have a reason why people give a damn. People aren't even paying their bills in crypto right now. They're not, my mother's not going to spend 10 minutes and pay a $4 transaction fee on Ethereum to pay an ETH to pay our bills just because it's the future of the decentralized web. There needs to be an actual use case and improve upon things and make things easier. Wallet is not easier. Not saying it's not necessary. I'm just saying it's not easier. Someone might come up with a better solution for a wallet in 3 to 5 years and might make it way simpler. But right now, it's not. So it's like understanding how generational products are built is very much aligned to understanding what are the consumer problems and what are the major consumer problems that people want to be solved. You can't, it does not matter if 150 crypto companies launch marketplaces and NFTs. I don't know why, because the same audience exists. Same problem with crypto, like crypto exchanges. Why do we need 50 fucking exchanges if your only selling point for crypto is you buy this as an investment, if everyone is collectively buying crypto as an investment, who's buying it for some actual practicality use case? And if that doesn't exist, crypto is always slated to go up and down, and people are always slated to get burned because they're going to get in for the wrong reasons, and they're going to think that, oh damn, this thing scammed me. No, you didn't get scammed. You got manipulated into a narrative. We have to find real reasons for someone to hold ETH. I'm in Web3. I don't have a real reason to hold ETH outside of buying an NFT. And if I don't buy an NFT, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to wait for it to go up. Not everything needs to be a speculative win. I
Mhm.
think there needs to be some way, shape, or form where people wake up and they are building precise and clear products that solve some sort of use case. And that's when the distributed value is going to skyrocket ETH and all these other tokens. And that doesn't mean you don't have to invest in it or speculate. That's fine. I'm personally not a big speculator. I like products that solve big problems and change the world. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't hold ETH if you think it's going to do it one day. I'm just saying that for the people that are building companies, you have to understand that if your product isn't making something better, solving a direct problem, it doesn't matter what you're building. And I don't have all of the ideas behind what that looks like. I don't have 1,000 startup ideas to solve these problems. I'm just saying that's where your mind has to go.
Dude, and this is the crazy part. Like, this is how the conversation started to change because a couple years ago, or even like last year, it was like the OG, the DeFi, the OG crypto people were leading the conversation, and that's why there's so much animosity here because we're seeing a totally different mindset, a new wave of people who come in saying, "Why bother holding ETH for the most part? Unless you bought ETH at $700, at $300, at $20." Those are the people who are saying, hold your ETH because Web3, because crypto, because they have so fucking much and because it's worth so much more than they bought it from. But people who bought ETH at 2,100 and that now it's sitting at 1,600, like they're sitting there going, why the fuck did I not exchange this for USD when I was up 10%? And that's a very
Yeah.
different conversation because they're in it for a different game. They're in it for speculation versus people who been in since $20. They're chilling no matter what the fuck happens, and it's a
Yeah,
different narrative for them. They're
they
there
can't
for
lose.
reasons. Yeah,
Facts.
they
They
can't
can't
lose.
lose.
Exactly. They can't lose. And that's why there's so much animosity. And honestly, this brings up another big discussion that goes in the direction of kind of like noise, I guess. And so before I do, I wanted to highlight the giveaway that they got going on right now. So just real quick, share a portion of the $2,000 prize pool. For watching this podcast, you will receive 100 points for each 10 minutes watched. You can buy some little like tokens that get you
Big.
entries to win that money. Simply collect your coins, buy a giveaway pass, and that's how you do it. Make sure you sign up, guys. That ends on like March 2nd, I believe. But the topic of this comes up, and it's very important to me because I just had a fucking big week for myself, like mentally. And it's funny you brought up that you were a bit spiritual. I am as well. That's probably why we just like naturally connected there. But I had for like the past 3 years, not even realized, but like I have been fucking severely just derealized in general, like detached from everything because it's almost
Yeah.
impossible not to as a content creator because of especially NFTs, like so much fucking hate, so many comments, so much back and forth. People say, one thing you said becomes now your whole identity, and someone judges your whole entire character based on one sentence, one tweet you sent out. And that's a scary place to be. So you almost have to detach a little bit and say, okay, hold on. Like, I don't care. Blinders, Gary Vee style, blinders, go forward, push forward, block the haters, block the good, block the hate. And it gets a little bit
Yeah.
scary because that starts to take up all your time because I'm full in on content. That is my world, and it gets scary. And the other thing is like there's so much noise that there's almost no opportunity for clarity. And someone had said it in the comments a second ago, which is really concise. But it was when you were talking about being able to just build a fucking product that actually does something, and that is so hard. It's so hard to focus right now on anything because of Twitter. And because Twitter is the only place that you can kind of grow and like succeed right now in Web3, it seems like for so many people
Yeah.
that you almost have to keep up the Twitter game, which almost inherently just automatically jumbles up everything in your fucking brain to keep you on track with what you want to do, which is kind of I don't want to put blame on it, but like it's kind of the reason I've been able to or haven't been able to make the kind of content I wanted to in the past few months because I was so stuck in this cycle of trying to keep up with everyone. And I see one person get a little bit ahead, so I got to move in that direction. Then I
Yeah.
see someone else over here, and I'm like, oh fuck, I get over it. And it's craziness. So I would just like to hear your thoughts on it, your experience with it as a content creator, as a person, as in Web3.
Yeah, I mean, I think like what you just said is spot on. There's a ton of noise happening around the space, so it's like you always see like somebody else's come up or win, and then you think like, oh shit, like why am I not doing that one thing, or why am I not spending more of my time or energy like in that place. And I had that kind of stretch where I was like, oh shit, this person did like really cool here. Or like, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out like what formula do I want to have on YouTube? And I still don't have it. I would see people doing certain content. I'm like, fuck, you got to remember those metrics are associated to them shilling this thing, and that's what it is. And you're not doing that. So don't like pick and choose. Like, don't pick things just because you see metrics increasing. Pick them because you have an actual like value additive reason as to why it's important to you. And it did take me a while to like find that in different areas of my content. So I feel you. Like it's tough. I mean, especially now with where crypto and Web3 is, I think it has given me more fuel and understanding that I have to focus on how I expand my content outside of my own bubble. How do I expand my content into a world of Web2 and literally open the door for myself? And so 'cause I used to wait. I used to be like, you know what? I'll like eventually there's going to be good games that launch. And once those games launch, I'm going to get some viewership. And no, 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 no. Why wait for that? Be
Mm.
the person that these games come to because they need some sort of audience. They need some sort of perspective. They need some sort of consistency in terms of people watching their content. That changes the bag you can get. I watched a Web3 game almost pay Ludwig like $1 million to stream their game and turned down an opportunity that we had like kind of lined up where we were going to have smaller streamers from Web2 stream it. Like we were going to do like we're going to have streamers that average around like 700 viewers do a contest with me. And it would have been way cheaper. And they tried to go with Ludwig. Ludwig backed out like on the day of the stream. But the idea I realized was that like at the end of the day, you can build whatever you want. If you don't reach escape velocity, all these gaming companies or whoever you're working with, they're going to eventually just go to where the audience is, even if it isn't their niche. So you might as well try to attack the biggest audience possible and put your content and insert it in a way that makes sense. Because if not, somebody's going to replace you. And at the end of the day, the idea of being replaced isn't something I'm too excited for. So I'm going to stay consistent and keep experimenting. And I think experimenting is how you find that niche.
Damn, dude, that was spot on right there. That I didn't even like know that was the answer I was looking for, but that pretty much was the answer I was looking for. Just like a little bit of clarity on like kind of
Yeah.
where you were going. Damn, yeah, yeah, dude, that was super impactful for me, and I wanted to ask that question also because I knew there were other content creators in here, and I imagine we all are on we've all experienced some level of that. Some people are putting out content a shit ton. Some people are putting out once a week. It's not taking up 99% of their life. For me, dude, I'm like all in, so like I just can't help but make this my entire life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to hear that. It was good to hear that from you, man.
For sure, man. I mean, dude, this show is sick, and you also have like insane insights because you have different walks of life to me outside of gaming. So, I mean, what are some things you've seen across the wider Web3 space in terms of creating a sticky audience? Like, what is like, is it very much related to like there being some sort of news narrative in the business you're in, or is there some sort of like, what is your? I would say like, what is your secret sauce right now?
Dude, I think it's just the quantity. Like I very much I basically just said fuck it, Gary V. I'm just gonna Gary V it
Yeah,
for a while, just gonna see what happens, and if it kind of works, like depending on like luck, sometimes you can hit a stroke of luck and just boom. Sometimes it's not. Like I remember I watched a podcast with this dude. I can't remember what his name was. He's got a pretty successful podcast now. But the guy asked him a similar question. He was way further in his career. But they were
yeah,
like, what was like your big moment? And he was like, dude, I have not had a moment and I've been doing this for 45 years. He was like, I never had
damn,
one single spike. He was like, it was the slowest growth of all time. He goes, it almost hurts. It's almost embarrassing how slow it was. He goes, but it worked. He goes, that's just the
yeah,
path that it took me. And he goes, and maybe it would have been different if I made a couple other decisions, but that's kind of just how it happened. And I think with YouTube NFT content, I think partially the glasses, like I talk about this a lot with branding. If you can get something that's sort of like synonymous with your brand. I know NFT Nate started putting a headband on. He's got like, or a bandana. He's got like red bandana
yeah.
he always wears. Tom Young's, he's got like the mustache. Honestly, Ash, he's just got the vibes, dude. Like Ash is just a cool dude. Like people just fuck
All
with him in
vibes.
general. 100%, dude. All vibes. Like for yourself, do you think there's like one specific thing about like your brand that you have, or is it overall?
At one point, I used to have blonde hair, like in the Play to Earn days. So I was
Oh
like
shit.
completely blonde. I mean, I still have pictures, and like that was like pretty cool. Like I built my brand around like being the blonde haired streamer at one point, which was fun. Um, Another big thing, I'm a big fan of pearls. I don't have a set on right now, but I wear a lot of pearls, so that's very much tied to my brand. If I would say like two things that I look up and I'm like, yeah, these are my that's my shit.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Also, guys, if you're listening, we do have a couple of rapid fire questions while we wrap up here. If you have any ones that you want to drop in, just throw it in the comments here. If you're in spaces, throw it in the comments on the tweet below. Also, if you're enjoying this conversation, retweets, likes, the best way to support the space. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you're following BRYCENT.
Facts.
We drop so much fucking alpha, especially on YouTube, Twitch. Make sure you're following him there as well. All right, here's some rapid fire Q&A questions I got for you, sir.
Let's do it.
These are interesting for me, dude. You got a favorite fast food joint?
Oh, damn. I love that question. So, to be completely honest, I'm a big Wendy's guy. Big Wendy's guy. But if I wasn't gonna go with Wendy's and I just like, what fast food place you want to run into and just like grab something, probably Burger King. No cap.
Whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Are you saying that just to be different, bro?
No, I genuinely like Burger King. I normally go
Burger
to
King?
places that, yeah, Burger King's fire.
No way. Okay, maybe all right, you know what? I'm not even gonna hate
I'm not,
on it
I'm not
because
even a
I haven't
burger
been in a
guy.
while.
I don't even eat cheeseburgers. I just go there
Huh?
for like chicken sandwiches and shit.
Oh.
Like
Oh,
Wendy's,
okay, chicken
Wendy's,
sandwiches.
yeah, Wendy's. I go there and get spicy chicken nuggets.
Damn,
BK,
okay.
BK, have it your way.
Let's fucking go. Burger King. Wow, I have not heard that name pop up in a little minute, dude. Okay, do you have any tattoos?
Oh fuck yeah, I got a shit ton. I mean,
Wait, do you?
how? Yeah, dude. I'm like, but then like, it was like over the course of a year, I got like a crap ton. So I have like a little traditional like fucking flower here. I don't know what that was. I just got it because it looked cool. Nezco from Demon Slayer. I got this bee because I'm a big fan of Tyler the Creator's Flower Boy album. I got fucking what is it? What's this guy? And his Akula and Killua from Hunter x Hunter on this arm. This is my favorite arm though. I got a flower on the crest, no face on the back, a dragon going down the arm from the flower,
Hey,
and then like a double kitsune. So I have a kitsune like on the inside, which is like a Japanese fox. I don't know if you can see that. And then on
that's
the
fire.
outside, another one. Then I have a moth on my chest, my dad's initials, and that is my tat journey. I'm gonna eventually sleeve this arm and then remove the tats on my chest because I low key want my chest clean now. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, you get a tattoo now, you gotta like remove it. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I just like like it.
Bro, that's our generation. We don't give a fuck. I've got a couple. I've got the Joyage tattoos on my fingers that people know of.
Ooh,
I've got the
yeah.
mushroom tat that my sister's friend did just
Oh,
on a
that's
whim.
fire.
And then I got my I got shoulder done here. It's just St. Michael, killing the devil. My mom literally
Bro, that's
disowned me
sick.
almost when I got this one. She was very close to disowning me.
Really?
Yeah, she did not fuck with it at all. She was not happy. And there's a lot of things like culture wise that like I should have probably asked her before, but she definitely would have said no, so I never would have gotten it.
Yeah.
I see we got a couple anime fans in here. Fire, fire, fire. You got a favorite
Facts,
anime?
facts. Honestly, I haven't watched too much anime over like the last like couple months because I've just been busy and haven't
Mm,
had time. But my favorite anime I've watched, I would probably have to say Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is sick. Also, Attack on Titan was fucking sick as well. But a Demon Slayer, like the Demon Slayer movie, definitely made that like my top one. And I don't think it's the best anime. I'm just saying my favorite. Like I know
mm.
like fucking a lot of people like One Punch and there's a couple of others, but yeah, Demon Slayer. And also Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is fucking sick. I want a Jujutsu Kaisen tattoo.
Oh shit. Okay, okay. Right on. You'll be seeing that tattoo coming up soon, maybe then.
Yeah, mate.
Do you have a favorite normal video game?
Normal video game.
Doesn't have to be. I mean,
Probably
it could be Web3 if you.
Probably, Counter-Strike. I used to be a big Counter-Strike player. I don't play anymore, but it was probably my favorite normal video game and also, FIFA. Like,
Hey, let's go. You
yeah.
good at FIFA though, or you just like playing it?
I was pretty cracked, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty cracked.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay. Fuck. There's a couple. I'll just ask one more. I'll just ask one more, and
Yeah,
we'll
no
wrap this
worries.
up. All right. All right. Well, it's a two-prong question technically, but it's a one question.
Okay.
Do you have a biggest, like, irrational fear? And then do you also have any guilty pleasures? That's literally two separate questions, I guess. But, like, do you have
Mm.
an irrational fear?
A biggest irrational fear? Probably running out of money. Like
Mm,
I would say, like, my biggest irrational fear is, like, probably it was more so expectation based, like, things not working out and like losing the ground I've made and having to go back to a regular job. And I mean, maybe it's not that irrational. Maybe that's like a rational one. So I would say probably more irrational would be I can't pick up reptiles of any shape, size. I like
you just can't do it?
lizards. Like it doesn't matter. It could be the littlest baby lizard. Like I can't touch it. It just fucking creeps me out. So probably like a weird fear of like lizards and snakes and all that shit.
True,
But
true.
I love watching like documentaries and wildlife videos and shit.
Just not
So
trying to
it's
hold it.
yeah, I don't want to hold it
That's fair, dude.
at
That's
all.
fair. Also, before I forget, are you going to NFT NYC or NFT LA or Bitcoin Miami? Any of those
When is
events?
NFT NYC?
NYC, I believe, is April 12th to the 14th. I think something like
Oh,
that. Somewhere in that area. I can't remember.
I'm supposed to be at a bachelor party in Charlotte. So if that's the dates, I won't be there. But to be honest, I'm not complaining about not going. There's been a shit ton of events, and I'm like, I want to be heads down building like in-house and working on my own shit. So the less event, I would say probably the less events, the better. But yeah, if it's 12th to the 14th, I won't go. If it's another date, maybe I'll get out there. My birthday is also in April, so I'm not really too pressed on doing anything. So we'll see.
Hell yeah, right on, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you were here, especially there's some of y'all that have been here since the very beginning. We really do appreciate y'all. If you enjoy this conversation, smash the likes, the retweets. They all help. Make sure you give Bryson a follow. If you're in Twitch, LinkedIn, I don't even know how many channels to stream to. If you're everywhere else, thank you so much. Any kind of engagement really helps. Dude, it's a fantastic fucking conversation. I feel like we went through a lot of shit. Is there anyone you want to like shout out just while we wrap up here?
Yeah, I want to shout out my community, the BGens. They've been really supportive. I've seen Niam in here, Ice and Dark, super dope. Big shout out to the Joyage Kingdom for all of you guys having me on here. It's a blessing. I see you guys in the chat. You've been super helpful. So I mean, Bane, appreciate you. Matt Verse, Paul, appreciate you. Grim, I mean, everyone in the chat, man, you guys have been awesome. It's like I felt like right at home. Janix as well. So appreciate you guys for just having me on here.
Yeah, man, that was fucking awesome. Honestly, that's a move like for like Twitch stream, like getting the names. There's actually a lot of names I'm gonna fuck up the pronunciations, but y'all know y'all know who you are. If y'all been commenting, we see y'all. So like we really do fucking appreciate y'all. Ash, I saw Luke was in here for the content creators. Appreciate y'all so much. Bet Fury fam, we love you. Make sure you guys type in, get your points for like lock in the points. Take advantage. Take fucking advantage, guys. Until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn. And we're grateful you're live watching the stream. Bryson, dude, thank you so much for coming on. I know you got to head out of here. This was a great time.
Appreciate it.